with an almost impossible climb. 150 million players for these 2026. 33 million players play these games every day. But today we will have the 96 best players coming from all around the world. That's right, from all corners of the world, ready to go toe-to-toe until they are the last team standing. My name is Barney Banks and I'm your host alongside the incredible Looty. And without any further delay, it's time to introduce your first 12 teams to the main stage. Yeah, there is a lot of pressure, of course. Like, there is so many young players and they're coming from all around the world. And you know what? Like, I think for a lot of them, it's the first time in Europe, the first time in Paris. So they are far away from home. Hopefully they're gonna make it right for this first day here at the WC Paris. However, it's time, ladies and gentlemen, to introduce our first 12 teams, starting with Demon's Pride!
Après, le premier match, peut-être que ça sera mieux, les grands vont être létales.
Titan Esports Club! Loud Sneakers! Ram United Esports! Aurora Gaming! Paradox Gaming! Gun Dynasty!
Sur le plat, ça a bien fonctionné. Ça n'a pas eu
DS Gaming!
un peu comme un Xbox qui va largement remporter ce test face à Bruce, mais il avait encore un flash disponible, on l'utilise offensivement.
And now, your reigning Esports World Cup champions, EVOS Esports!
Et juste avant le crash de la wave, il met tout l'honneur par contre vers la top lane.
$1 million on the line, a legacy to forge, and a champion to crown. So today is your only chance to make a first impression. Make it count. The first day of Free Fire in WC Paris begin now! How hard is it to claim the throne? To rise above and be the best.
Au niveau de la bataille.
With the final elimination, the Wonder Kid gets the job done. And how hard is it to stay at the top? Secret WAG. It requires strength, resilience, the ability to thrive under pressure. It requires consistency. And as the kingdom grows, so does the number of contenders. Familiar faces return, and entirely new forces knocking at the gates. But In the end, there can be only one king, one champion,
S'il appuie sur
and
cette
one
court dessus,
booyah.
juste il peut bump et il
And
s'entraîne.
no
Il a
king
quand même de quoi avoir
rules
des
forever.
armes pour très très bonne réaction des filles. Ça neutralise un peu le premier passage qu'un bac voulait avoir.
ওয়াও জয় ওয়াও প্রিভিয়াস ইয়ারের আমরা সেই স্মৃতিগুলো দেখেছি মেমোরিজ গুলো দেখেছি তার পাশাপাশি দেখেছি আমাদের ওয়েককে চ্যাম্পিয়ন হতে আনলিশ করতে নিজেদের পাওয়ারফুল ডমিনেশন গুলো বাট কতবার একটা জিনিস আবারও দেখেছি
Never before. This is the first time we've got so many of them, which means there are going to be a tad bit more heartbreaks out there. The first day, you got early qualifiers, but you definitely want to avoid the bottom of the leaderboard.
For real. Now, as you go into that as well, eliminations are coming through. And as we go through this, after eliminations, only top 4 will be going straight to the finals.
Oh, yes.
And the rest into survival stage.
Yeah, absolutely. But today is just day 1. Both groups, A and B, will only play the first 6 matches, right? So it's a little bit of a prelude. It's a little bit of a preview. And thank God we have the preview, because some of the teams here are absolutely clueless about the regions who have not really shown up on a stage where you're able to go in and really check out what their drop spots are like, exactly what their rotations are like. So they're left in the dark. And these underdogs could just be exactly what surprises even the big dogs, right? Because we know for a fact, when you go on to the Free Fire Global Finals, the gameplay there is just very different. The Titans will rule as always. But here at the Esports World Cup, we actually have the capability of underdogs having a dream, right? So far, the winners that have been able to run away with it are winners who haven't been able to achieve much on the global final stage.
Yeah, it's really exciting when you think about that, because it's such a different moment, right? It's a different pawn.
Yeah.
It's a different capability. And again, there are also, whispers about these new teams coming online. The differences in regional styles of play, whether or not you can adapt to that. That day 1, trying to figure out, like you mentioned, right, the drop spots. Are we going to be taking the early fights, or are we going to be avoiding these teams? So those are the questions these teams are going to be asking themselves. Are you brave enough to take that gamble, or are you going to be playing safe all the way till the end?
Absolutely. We just saw a little peek of AGAL. They have already shown their prowess in Clash Squad thus far, global finals champions, and recently at the Southeast Asian Clash Masters as well. But that's Clash Squad. In Battle Royale, they have been doing absolutely fine for themselves as well, right? Just very quickly climbing up the ladder, but they have not achieved a championship in BR for themselves just yet. Second at Sea Spring 26, second at even the Free Fire Max Asia Invitational, where we threw in a bunch of super teams from Southeast Asia up against the South Asian teams, where they also found dominance at.
Yeah, and I think that when you are in that situation, you are trying to think, okay, how exactly am I going to be matching up with these other players? Some of them are very, very new. I would say, sometimes people say, right, the younger players have a little bit more drive. They're hot-headed, they're hot-blooded. They want to go for these early fights.
Yeah.
But in this situation, when you go high risk, the high reward moments, if you lose it, you lose it all. And in this situation, you want to avoid being at the very bottom of that ladder. What can we do to make sure that we don't go super high risk and not overheat?
Well, if you do end up at the bottom today, the risk is there, but fairly low. Tomorrow, you definitely have to avoid it at all costs. But obviously, not every single team can do that. At the end of the day, you're going to have some winners. You're going to have some teams down at the bottom who are going to be at risk of relegation. But I'm looking at the rise of the underdogs here, mainly at the Esports World Cup, right? Because this is where dreams are made. And again, this guy, he dreamt for many, many years. I'm not so sure exactly what he's trying to do right now, but he's dreamt for many, many years. He's trying to think of a hand sign that he wants to flash on the screen the moment he gets a booyah. And AJL is just the kind of squad who's capable of walking with a booyah. And speaking of which, this is Group A. Many have termed this group the Group of Death because of the number of Titans that are in this group.
Right. And I think that when you think about Group of Death, there are so many situations that, for me personally, I think last year we had this conversation, right? We were saying, hey, it's going to be the rise of the Brazilians this year. And we were knocked out of the park, and we were surprised that it wasn't at all our expectations. Now, for this year, the capability of that happening again, the favorites getting knocked out, is going to be happening. I would say is, because there are there's so many teams that we haven't dealt yet, we haven't seen quite yet on the bigger stages.
Yeah.
Maybe regionally we haven't seen their prowess because maybe regionally wise, maybe they're not the best there. But some teams excel on the global stage, and that really, really surprises so many people, including us.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it's just such a interesting factor that the teams that perform well on the global final stage, the titans of our competition, just don't find a good run here at the Esports World Cup. You look at Buriram, you look at even AGAL.
I agree.
I mean, this is their third year here, and both of the Esports World Cup in 2024 and 2025, they placed fifth.
Yes.
It's weird that they are not able to take a step forward, but the underdogs, on the other hand, they always manage to rise up to the occasion. I wonder what's the difference going to be like this time around, right? Because
Yeah.
you look at the teams, yes, the dreams have grown, yes, the mechanical skills of these players have definitely been sharpened up, but we also have to take a look at the meta. This is the season for the snipers to rise up to the occasion.
Yeah, the snipers have been buffed, and I think that what's really good about this as well, I think there were whispers about the Indonesian squads running that double sniper. Seeing that is going to be fun, but again, as we go into this first game, I am curious to see what exactly is going to be happening. Is it going to be double snipers? Is it going to be a different kind of meta? What do you think, AJ?
I think everybody's going to be aiming for peak this time around because of the high tier loot zone, or it could also be a potential avoidance of these high tier loot zones for the underdogs of the competition, just so that they avoid early annihilation from these lobbies. But one thing's for sure, we're going to spot quite a number of hot drops because of the fact where we haven't built dominance on these compounds just yet. Day one is going to be a very messy day, and I think we already see a couple of hot drops out there.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a very interesting moment.
Oh, man.
Where we are looking at Mars Electra and Pochino is completely full of players. Circle coming up toward the middle central side there. So the rotations coming in from southern side is going to be fun to see, especially AGL from Sentosa.
Yeah, absolutely. So Gun Dynasty up against Aurora. And this is going to be a little tough for Gun Dynasty if they don't manage to overwhelm the Malaysian squad, who has been performing extremely well in the recent past. You've also got the team of Team Apex Gaming from India. Now, speaking of Aurora and the players of GD, let's see if or not they'll be able to knock each other out or very safely avoid each other after picking off a couple of points. Azrael Mac 10 in hand for medkits, no glue walls, getting stuck in a battle could be deadly. But he does have the time turner on him, keeping the active skill alive.
বাট মাস্ট বি ফার্স্ট সার্কেলের আগে সেখানে লুজগুলো কমপ্লিট করতে হবে। জেটি তারা নেমে গেছেন অলরেডি, ফাইনাল ফাইট স্টার্ট হয়ে যাবে। একটা বৃহত্তম ম্যাচ হল AUR, তারা এগিয়ে যাবেন জেটির সামনে।
এক্স্যাক্টলি, আমার মনে হয় অরোরা ভার্সেস ডাইনাস্টি দুটো টিমের
Oh, très bon rap, très bon rap. Sur le Hong Kong, déjà flash, le kick est beau. Il manque des dégâts, il manque si peu de dégâts. On avait son clan pour Risto pour ressortir. Et il y a des super mouvements pour réussir à éviter la dernière balle balancée par Sentinelle. Il a peut-être sort de là.
তিনি কিন্তু তাদের ভালো সাপোর্ট দিয়েছেন, তিনিও কিন্তু গান ডাইনাস্টি এই মুহূর্তে পুরো অরোরাকে জানিয়ে দিয়েছেন বিদায়। ফাসিন শুরুতেই একটা বিরাট বড় চাপের সম্মুখীন হলেন এই মালয়েশিয়ান টিম অরোরা গেমিং।
অবশ্যই গেমিং তো ওয়াইপচার তো হয়ে গেলেন সর্বপ্রথম, বাট তার পাশাপাশি সেই জায়গায় যদি আমরা কথা বলি টিম অ্যাপেক্স গেমিং, তারা এবার এন্টার নিচ্ছে গান ডাইনেস্টির সামনে। ডিআরএস গেমিং ফাইটার স্টোরেক্স, তিনি হবেন নক, বাট আলু কাউন্টার অ্যাটাকটা দিবেন এন্ড ঠাকুরি আনাদার কিল সিকিউর করে ফিনিয়েছেন। প্রথম দিকেই কিন্তু তিনটি এলিমিনেশন তুলে ফেলা হবে তাদের সাইড থেকে, এন্ড একটা ভালো স্টার্ট দিয়েছে প্যারাক্স গেমিং কে। একটা পাল্টা আক্রমণ করার মাধ্যমে কিন্তু পিছুপা হতে বাধ্যতা হচ্ছে। শর্ট কানেক্টর প্রাতিক রিচের এন্ট্রি, স্নাইপি তিনি কিন্তু একা সার্ভাইভার, এগিয়ে যাওয়ার চেষ্টা করবেন স্নাইপি। লেটস সি সেই জায়গা থেকে নক বের করতে পারেন কিনা। 1v2 এর একটা সিনারিও সেখান থেকে ক্রিয়েট হয়েছে। আরো একবার কিছু শর্ট থ্রো করার ট্রাই, নকডাউন নেওয়ার চেষ্টা। স্নাইপি একা বেঁচে গেছেন, দুই সাইড থেকে জ্যাক আলু হোয়াট আ টেক ডাউন, এর মুহূর্তের মধ্যেই ডিআরএস গেমিং নিজেদের পকেটে আরো একটা কিল এলিমিনেশন তুলে নিলেন। স্টোরেক্স কে রিকল করা হলো, একজন প্লেয়ার ফ্রম PDX তিনি পিছপা ফেলেছেন। ওয়াও হোয়াট আ হেডশট এম গট দ্যাট ওয়াজ। ডিপি তাদের ব্যাক টু ব্যাক দুটো প্লেয়ারকে নকডাউন করা হলেও এখনো পর্যন্ত ডেমন্স প্রাইডের আরো কিছু প্লেয়ার সার্ভাইভিং। পুরো ম্যান পাওয়ার নিয়েই কিন্তু বেঁচে আছেন ইভোস এবং টিম ডেমন্স প্রাইড।
এক্স্যাক্টলি। অন্যদিকে আমরা গান ডাইনেস্টি এন্ড টিআরএস দুটো টিমকে যথেষ্ট ভালো স্কোর শুরুতেই কালেক্ট করতে লক্ষ্য করছি। ডেমন্স প্রাইড ট্রাইং देयर বেস্ট, but top 16 taken down right now.